Good morning, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to go over a quick synopsis of what is transpiring so far across the crypto market. Yesterday, we talked about the dangers of a possible pullback after the run up to XRP to 73 cents. We talked about the possibility of retesting that 66-cent mark. And the reason why that is such an important level is because that is where the cup and handle broke out. And it would be appropriate for a back test, much like we've seen with Bitcoin. After it had a breakout, it back tested the breakout level. XRP broke up to that 73 cents like we talked about yesterday. And then we back tested a little bit overzealously, I might add, down to 64 cents, this cup and handle breakout. It's also the finishing of a cup here, short term, and back testing, as we can see on the handle. The handle right now is at 66.4 cents. So if we want to get hot today, which we might get really hot today, we need to hold this 66 cent. There was somebody who asked me a question yesterday and asked, because they sold at 71 cents, I believe it was. And it was either 71 or 73. I think it was 71. And they asked, if I sold, what would be a good spot to buy back? And I said, I'm not saying this is expected to happen, but I would target 66 cents because that was the back test of the breakout of the cup and handle. And fortunately for that person, if they're willing to get back in the market, it dropped down and they were able to sell it. I think it was 71. And it's tricky to do it, but they were somewhere around 70. We'll just say 71.7. But then it corrected about 10%. So if they bought it around that 66, 60, they could have sold it theoretically and got back about 9 cents on the dollar more of XRP just by selling it the same day. So that was a pretty suave decision. Whether they followed through and bought it back when it hit the bottom or not, we don't know if it's going to be the true bottom, but that remains to be seen. Bitcoin, as we can see this morning, has pared some losses. We're going to take a look at not only the Bitcoin heat signature, or the heat liquidation map, we're going to take a look at the XRP liquidations as well. And we're going to do it in a pretty detailed way here. I got about 20 minutes, and we're going to go over the XRP liquidations as well here because there was an interesting amount of them last night, especially in longs versus shorts. But it did tighten the gap a little bit, so it was a little bit closer than we might expect. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the updated heat signature map by Bitcoin, or the heat liquidation map. This is the one that I like the best, so I use this one as far as the Bitcoin liquidations. And then we'll take it out to see exactly what we're targeting right now, because there's a lot of shorts that get liquidated at 90,000 again. So the biggest heat map liquidation zone, and you can see, I think Bitcoin created an inverse head and shoulders here. So I think we're in for a doozy here, possibly. If this inversion actually plays out, it could be pretty interesting this morning. Pretty interesting. We talked about it in live yesterday about how it looked like an inverse head and shoulders was setting up here. And it came down, formed this right shoulder. If it breaks out of here, Bitcoin is going to go much, much farther here. It's like I said yesterday, I don't necessarily think it's done. I just think we needed a correction. But Bitcoin is still off to the race. We'll finish this technical analysis. Let me timestamp this. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it this morning if you could hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this update. We'll go over the possibility of positioning, long versus shorts. We'll take a look at what a 10x position might look like here and where you would have to survive and where you should have a stop loss, or if you should even get back into XRP at this point. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. By you hitting that like button, I become recommended by YouTube. I become part of the analytics, which simply means I pop up on the YouTube news feed. And then whoever wants to see the content has the choice whether or not to watch it. I do think from a standpoint of positivity, because I'm simply tired of the hate in the world. There's simply too much hate, division, divisiveness. So I choose to do things from a standpoint of love, positivity over negativity. We don't play the victim here. We never have been a victim. We never will be here. We have all the information from a news and charting perspective to make an educated and informed decision. Yesterday, my optimism was a little bit lower once we hit 73 cents. I know we still have a targeted move to 90 cents plus, but we needed a correction to make this happen. We got the correction, so I feel very good about what I seen last night. Very, very optimistic, and we're going to go into this very detailed here. So please hit that like button as I say the intro. Good morning. 7:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, And I reside in the great state of Michigan. I'll be honest, I wish I would have been up when this actually made that little correction down. I wish it would have been up when it hit this cup and handle. It's right here right now. With the morning trading hours, I'm going to see how it shakes out here a little bit for the next hour or two. But we very well could bounce out of this area. We had a better than 5% correction back up since it fell off. So it's been a nice little correction from the top. We had fallen off 15%. So that was a nice corrective move last night. Very nice corrective move. Volume right now, though, on the pullback up is crashing down. So I want to see how this plays out here. See if it is going to just come up and make a nice quick V recovery. Or if Bitcoin's going to finish this move. Because we can very clearly see Bitcoin. That's a V shape. It's created a nice inverse right arm. If you're asking me, I'm not saying I'll go out there and take a trade on Bitcoin. But what I am saying is pay attention. Because if this is true, what I'm seeing here. And this is more than like a... Man, because it did get a double top at 90K roughly, but now is Bitcoin like in this? And this is interesting because Bitcoin, if it breaks up from here, off of here, the short-term consolidation, now you've got a pattern. We've got a pattern now to play off of. So it came down to 85K. If Bitcoin had a clear and decisive break from here, let's just say it gets on top of here and it breaks out from here. The consolidation suggests the next target, and we talked about it yesterday. I don't know if I said 95 though, but it's 95,000 is the next, that's the next milestone push. So for Bitcoin, and we're back testing 86,960. That is so extremely bullish. I can't even describe it. I can't even describe it. If it holds, and it has so far, that 86,960. I cannot even begin to describe how bullish this is. It's had a 3.6% pullback. So, I mean, we're talking about if you took a shot on Bitcoin, if you put it at 5x here, that's about a 1.6% risk. So, for every $100, it's a $16 risk on a 10x trade. And what you're looking for is this to culminate into a 8.45% move. I like the deal from the 10x perspective, so that would be a 33% drop on 100, so it's $33 on every 100. But you would have a stop loss underneath 84,000. I would say, just to be safe, 84,700 if you were going to do something like that. But, you know, it's obviously very volatile, extremely volatile. But with the way Bitcoin's pushing right now, it looks like it should... Honestly, if it doesn't break this, and the fact it held and made a V-shaped recovery here, and it looks like an inversion's here. It looks like an inverse head and shoulders like we talked in the live last night. Could be formed here. XRP, XRP still within a very super bullish setup here. And the fact that it back tested, now we talked about this when XRP was way up. I talked about how I was uncomfortable because, and I circled the 66 cents. Not that I didn't think XRP could keep going, because I did make the targeted move yesterday, which played out beautifully. I mean, 100% on the money. I talked about the move from, we had the breakout point, and we talked about the move up to, wrong chart, 73 cents, and it played out 100% perfectly. But now that move's been settled. We've already made that move. This is what we were talking about. Off of here, I targeted it up to 73.8. It measured out perfectly, and I put that measurement out before it made that run yesterday. Actually, around noon I put that out, and by about 2, 3 o'clock it was running hard. So now we need to see if XRP is making that correction. Now we're over right now a very key level at $66.3 cents, and that's critical for XRP. If we maintain this cup and handle after a breakout, you always back test. We've seen it with Bitcoin before the next leg up. We're seeing it with XRP right now. Big cup and handle breakout. And now we're back testing the handle. It's incredible. We did exactly what I said. Not back testing the handle. We did that before. We're back testing now the rising channel. So if we hold the rising channel, remember, When we hit the target of 73, we talked about how we had to retest the rising channel at 66. If we hold that and then re-break that swing high at 73 and some change, let me measure this up properly, because where I put it was just my own technical target. Now we would have to break 74.77 to get on top of that swing high. And now 90.89 cents would open up if we break past this. We have a big, big push still to come if this breaks past. We back tested the cup as well at 65.78, the breakout point. So this is actually not looking bad here. Now, where would I look for an entry if I was my audience? Where it dropped last night would have been a great entry. If this doesn't correct back up, your next target would be around 59.70, but that's the least anticipated number. That's a less anticipated move. The move to 66 and retesting the rising channel was what I was waiting for. Now that we're on the top side of it, when I woke up, I feel pretty good, but I also know we made a 5% correction up overnight, which means we might give back about 50% of it, even if it's bullish. So you're going to have an opportunity likely for a little bit lower numbers here this morning as we go along. So just pay attention to that. We know what Bitcoin looks like, so just be aware of what's going on with the Bitcoin chart. Because we know where the breakout or breakdown will happen. So if we break up, we're going to 95,000. But to do our due diligence, because, you know, if we break down, there's a reaction or an opposite reaction, or should I say an equal and opposite reaction in the other direction if it breaks down. So let's just say we break down from here. 82,240 would be the next big target on the way down. So those pink lines that I'm going to keep in here, the hot pink, those are the pattern formation breakout or breakdown. So it's either up to 95,392 or down to 82,240 for Bitcoin. It's pretty much the way it's setting up right now. It's either going to be about an 8,000 point or 7,000 point move up or 7,500 point move up, or about a 5.5K drop. So it's going to be interesting from here. So monitor your risk. That kind of looks like a bull flag is setting up, and an inverse head and shoulders again. So, I mean, as much as we want to say that Bitcoin's going to correct right away, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm looking for a spot for XRP if I want to look at some kind of leverage, and Bitcoin, to be honest, this morning. I could see myself taking a minimal risk like that and trying to see if it'll break up. But we'll see, because I'm going to watch it play out, see how it looks at the gym in about, because we dropped my son off at 8:20, so I'll look at it at the gym at 8:35. And then while I'm working out, I'll take a look and see what's going on. But right now, optimism for sure this morning. I know a lot of people will see red and they'll be like, this pile of horse manure. Let's see. XRP right now, if we look at the liquidations overnight, total and totality, on November 12th, we had 6.7 million in longs liquidated, 1.2 million in shorts. On November 11th, we had 7.2 million in shorts liquidated and 15 million in longs. And you see some of the bigger players there by exchange. So that's some heavy liquidations we've experienced the last 24 hours. So I said it was not an easy time to leverage trade XRP yesterday. After it hit that 73, it was pretty difficult. Even before it had the quick volatility, so some got liquidated before that great move up too. So XRP futures trade count, we've got quite a bit of futures contracts open right now. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting here with XRP. Let's see if their map works good for XRP. Oh no, it only goes back to Bitcoin. I forgot I can't do XRPs besides this. And if we do it volume weighted, so anyhow, I just wanted to look at that very quickly. Let's see, open interest. So I mean, we've got a lot of open interest here. It's just our open interest is down a little bit. So I wanna actually look at my other chart right now, because I like this one. Somebody suggested it yesterday, but I like it for the liquidation zone, or how much of liquidations we've actually had. So I think it's a valuable tool. I do. So anyhow, liquidation heat map now for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the last 3 days and see where we're setting up strong liquidation. Wait a minute, what the heck is this crap? This isn't the right one I was gonna say. That's not what I wanted. This is supposed to be set up to something else. We'll get to the right map in just a second. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's for when we get done with this, I want to look at the fear and greed index. Oh my god. Is it really at 84 right now? I don't really like this one. It's got to be way up there, though. Yeah, it's in extreme greed right now, folks. Extreme greed. It might settle a little bit, but right now it's in extreme greed, so people are very greedy. But I still think with the Elliott wave count, it still suggests we could have another move up here in the short term. So I'm not discounting that at all. I feel like we could absolutely have that kind of move. So on the Bitcoin heat liquidation map, if you look at it in the 3-day, right now, I mean, I think it makes sense to have a move back up here. I know we fell off pretty big, but a bull flag set up for Bitcoin right now. 90,000, there's 602 million in liquidation, and just above that, by another $100 is another 500 million. If you clear out this whole section, several $billion. But the fact that there's that big of a liquidity tug, that people went short right there, it opens up the door for another push up. It really, really does. It almost screams for Bitcoin. Like, how could you not come up here and grab that 600 million of free liquidations sitting at 60 or 90,100 on short traders? I mean, that looks like an inverse head and shoulders on the pattern. That looks like an inverse head and shoulders setting up even within here. Even the wider side is an inverse left arm, inverse head, inverse right arm now trying to play out. I mean, this technical target should get us up to like 95K if it played out properly. Now, if it breaks down, it could be a topping reversal pattern, but in the short setting, it looks like it's setting up a nice reversal here for us after a nice pullback. A very healthy pullback at that. If you're looking to trade XRP or you're looking to trade crypto as a whole, look in the video description below and or pinned comments. BITUNIX is my preferred opinion. It's in the video description below in our pinned comments. There's no KYC or VPN. You can leverage and spot trade, and it's the lowest fees I've found unequivocally. You can copy trade me as well, but that's up to you. I don't encourage it. That's on BITUNIX. But you can trade, get ahead of the market, or get yourself situated for when you actually want to make a trade. If Bitcoin plays off, and this is actually a bullish setup, and it plays up instead of down, there's massive liquidity at 90K. Massive. Like, there was a lot of short traders at 90,100 that decided that was the spot. Or even a little bit lower, but that's where they get the liquidation tug at 602.92 million. That's over 60% of $1 billion liquidated right there at 90,100. So do I think they're going to let the short traders get out of this unscathed? Unlikely. It's unlikely. That doesn't mean it can't break down, but it's unlikely that they're just going to let them sneak out of Dodge. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, Bitcoin, we've already set up the setup. We already know where it's going to go, whether it breaks up or breaks down. It almost makes me want to take a trade here. Makes me want to take a trade. If it plays up to full potential, you're looking at 8.7%. Compared to if it breaks down a 3.28% drop. And then it would obviously drop all the way down to 6.98. That's tough. That's tough. It looks like a nice setup right now, but we'll see. It's early in the morning. It's 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast. Or, where I live at least. Eastern Standard Time Zone. It's an interesting start. So we'll see how it shakes out this morning when we're all waking up. Because we did have a 5% pullback up on XRP and a little bit of a pullback on Bitcoin. So yeah, let's just pay attention here and I'll update you more as the day goes on. another update like this at around 12:15, 12:20 today. So have a blessed morning, everybody. Gotta go.